Hello. So, as you can tell from the title of this video, I did not get cast in the improv troupe that I tried out for, but I learned a few things from that experience and just reflecting on that experience as well. So, first, I should tell you a little bit about trying out because it was the most fun I had had in a really, really, really long time. Because I I showed up on a whim, and it was a little ridiculous that I thought I could try out to begin with, because I have taken one improv comedy class, and not like a seminar, but an hour-long intro class. And after that hour-long intro class last summer, I was like, I can do improv. And there are people who have done improv comedy for as long as I've been alive. So, and those people were at the audition on Wednesday, and I was doing improv with those people. So it was a little silly that I thought I could keep up, but all that to say, I still loved it, and I had so much fun. When I showed up, the room was full, and the people in charge of the improv troupe said that it was the largest audition that they had ever had. They hadn't had that many people show up before, and it went from like 6 o'clock at night to 9:30 at night, and we were just doing improv the whole night. There was a cut halfway through, and I actually made it through the cut, which I was like, oh my goodness, like, they want to see more of me. They want to see what else I can do. And so I took that as a good sign of like, okay, even though I've only taken one class, I've got enough talent that that they wanted to see more. So, and I was just excited when I found out that I didn't get cut. I went, yes, because like I wanted to do more improv. It was like a free improv class for me, to be honest. And we did everything from like freeze tag to world's worst. We did music improv at one point, like where we had to make up verses to the blues, and I did that. Like, oh man, it was so much fun. And when the night ended, I just looked around and I was like, these are people with the same brain as me. And that has been something that I have realized is I have been in a lot of environments where I have been seen as the whimsical special one, where it's like, oh, Amara, she's just special. She's just whimsical. She just kind of does her own thing. She's whatever. And when I was in that audition, I was like, I'm not special here. Like, everybody here gets what we're doing and understands that we're here to make stuff and be creative and express ourselves and do it with each other. And I was just like, it was so refreshing to be in a room full of other creative people and other people with a brain like mine. And it made me feel less alone for at least a night. So all that to say, we got the email Friday morning. They sent out the final cast list at 4:30 in the morning on Friday. And so that's what I woke up to, was an email saying I didn't make it. And of course, like, my first thought was like, well, duh, there's people on this list that have been doing improv for 30-40 years, and there's people on this list that were clearly incredibly talented. So it would have been a huge risk for them to put me on the troupe, because that was the first time that they had ever seen me. So how silly is it that, like, it would have been a huge risk for them to put me on the troupe. So I understood that, and I accepted that. And then as Friday went on, I got more and more sad. And then into the evening, I was like crying on and off. And the educator in me this is what happens when you've been an educator, is sometimes the little phrases that you've said to kids along the way pop into your own head. So, I'm crying on and off last night, and in my head, it's like, well, Amara, why are you sad? Let's think about why you're sad. And I'm like sitting on my couch like, why am I sad? And like letting myself be sad, but then also getting into this like reflective place. And I was like, well, the reason I'm sad is because I finally was in an environment that I have so badly wanted to be in, where I go into a space, I'm making something, I'm being creative with other people who are happy to be there, and we're making something together, and we're laughing the entire time and just having fun. And I'm like, like that is what I've been seeking and what I've been wanting. And I did open mics a lot before the pandemic, and that's what I was looking for at those open mics, was that kind of camaraderie. I think that's the word, that kind of community. And I didn't find it at open mics, because when you're a musician doing open mics, a lot of people are trying to figure out how they can be a star, and if I wasn't going to help them become a star, then it didn't make sense for them to talk to me. So like open mics were not the place for me to find friends and find community, and because that's just kind of how they work. So I was like, well, that's why you're sad, is you got a taste of what you've been craving and what you've been wanting, which is being in a creative environment, being creative with other people, and laughing the whole time. And I had this realization last night too, of that's why I keep going into studios to record my music. I've been kind of mad at myself. I've been mad at myself over the last few years in particular, because I'm not an audio engineer. I've never learned how to record and mix and master my own music. And when you're an independent artist, you have to learn how to do that in order to become successful, because studio time is really, really expensive. And I've never bought audio equipment, and I've never learned how to use it. And I mean, I still don't have an Apple computer. I have a Chromebook, and so I can't record music on my own, like high quality music on my own. And I've been mad at myself for that. I've been mad for not taking a leap and trying to learn audio recording and engineering. But then I realized too last night during my sadness that's why I kept going into the studio, is because I craved spending time with another creative person and making something together. And that light bulb, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And the same with my screenwriting. Like, my favorite part of screenwriting has been sharing my work with other screenwriters and talking with them about the worlds that I've been creating. I love writing, but I love sharing even more. So that's something that I learned from that experience, and I don't know how I'm gonna find an environment like that right now. I'm in a community theater production right now, and like that has been amazing. It's been really great to have, kind of similar to the improv, where it's like similar brains coming together to make something. And but I'm aware that that's going to come to an end here at the beginning of June, and then I have to get a job, and pay my bills, which that's going to get a little scary for me here in about a month if I don't have a job financially. But yeah, it's interesting, because when you share with people that vision, when I share with people the vision I have of wanting to make stuff with other creative people, one of the first things they say is, well, take classes. And this is the part that has made me be very stuck over the years, is everything costs money. So I can get a job and I can spend money on improv classes, and I can spend money on, community theater and whatever. But like, you only have so much money, and I am in debt from my screenwriting program. Even though I've just finished it, I still have a year's worth of payments I still have to make on my screenwriting program. And so that's hanging over my head. And so I don't know if I'll be able to take improv classes. I don't know if I'll be able to do more community theater, because depending on what my job is, I may have to get 2 jobs. And it's just, it's gonna be hard to navigate that. And one of the things people typically say to me when I mention that is, they're like, well, get a good paying job. But we live in a society where if you get paid well, they expect every single ounce of you and your energy. And so if I get a good paying job, I'm not someone that can do something half-baked. If someone expects something from me, I do pour all of myself into it. And I wouldn't have time to do the creative things that I want to do. So, oh goodness, I was hoping this video would be a little happier. I was trying to make it happy. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So I don't know what's next for me, and it's probably going to be another tough year for me. But here's the but. But since I got a taste of what I've been seeking, it's a reminder to me that when I do potentially get to be in an environment like that, I know I'm gonna cherish it and I'm gonna hold it tight for as long as I'm able to hold it. And then eventually you have to let things go, right? But I just, if I hadn't had the last 10 years of my life with all the ups and downs, I don't know if I would have cherished a creative environment as much as I do now. So that's my hope and prayer, is that when one day I do get to work in a creative space with other creative people and we get to make something together, and it's just like a happy, joyful experience. I know that seems idealistic, but I'm hoping, when that happens someday, that I will cherish it, because that taste of improv on Wednesday was just the happiest I had been in a very long time. And I was like awake until 3 o'clock in the morning that night, because I ended the audition, and then I just was awake, So anyway, it's my birthday today, so I'm gonna celebrate me being me, and cheers to another year of just, I don't know, seeking what I want to do. Oh man, it's gonna be a year, isn't it? That's okay. All right, well, thanks for listening, guys. And I can always audition for that improv troupe again in the fall, and I probably will, just because it's a free improv class. But I appreciate all of you guys for the support that you give me. Just listening to my music on YouTube and Spotify and Apple. It may not seem like a lot, but it reminds me that people do love and appreciate the work I do. So thank you. And we'll talk soon. All right, bye.